Former Prime Minister Tony Abbott has refused to defend Scott Morrison as another inquiry into the secret ministries is flagged. Live now to Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, Scott Morrison increasingly isolated by his own side.
He certainly is here. The former Prime Minister Tony Abbott on Paul Murray Live last night asked about this ministry saga. He does not want to defend Mr Morrison's actions here, and he's also gone further, appearing to even back this new inquiry by Prime Minister Albanese that's going to look into the whole saga and what potential reforms need to be made. Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison responded to the Solicitor-General's legal advice yesterday. The advice found that whilst it was valid for him to have these 5 administrative portfolios, the secrecy around that by not telling his colleagues, the Parliament and the people undermined Australia's system of responsible government. Well, Mr Morrison said yesterday that he is willing to cooperate with a genuine process, but a question mark over whether that means he'll cooperate with this inquiry that is yet to be established. He says he also wants to see the new Prime Minister probe the role of the states and territories when it comes to the handling of the pandemic. But no defence being mounted here by Tony Abbott.
I'm not going to defend what was done. I'm just not going to defend what was done. We've got a report from the Solicitor-General that clearly indicates that it is just highly unconventional, highly unorthodox, and shouldn't have happened. When you don't get good, sensible behaviour, the best recourse is through the political process.
There are bigger issues, and they are cost of living, 3 words that is going to dominate this term of Parliament. It's ahead of the Jobs Summit. We've seen suggestions thrown around. One of them is from the opposition. It was months ago that pensioners should be allowed to work more before their payments are cut. Any movement on this?
Well, the Prime Minister, Laura, takes exception to the fact that this is Peter Dutton's idea. He says he raised it a few years ago when he was opposition leader.
Wow.
The opposition leader now, Peter Dutton, well, he says, I raised this 2 months ago, and they're calling on the government to actually finally implement this. The can is still being kicked down the road here to the Jobs Summit. The Prime Minister revealing this morning on radio this will be up for discussion, and I'm told it's not being ruled out.
This isn't done by a prime ministerial decree. There's things like legislation, and so Parliament sitting later on. It's one of the issues that we'll have a look at the Jobs and Skills Summit.
Labor could make it a priority in the next sitting fortnight. We could get that done on the first sitting day in the next sitting fortnight if Labor was serious about this.
Another big issue at the Jobs Summit next week is going to be this issue of a skills shortage, a staff shortage across the country. The Prime Minister on that point, on the backlog of visas in particular, he blames his predecessor for this problem, but he says they're trying to divert staff into actually stamping more passports, Laura, to work on this as quickly as possible. For many businesses, it can't come soon enough.